This is Lainey Stutz, and I'm the Assistant Director of Graduate Programs. We are here today with Chris Moore, who's our financial aid counselor, who's going to talk a little bit more about the financial aid options available for graduate students. Welcome, Chris.
Hi, Lainey. I'd like to thank everyone for taking the time to learn more about the graduate degree programs here at Nebraska Wesleyan University. And I'd like to take this opportunity to discuss a few of the most commonly asked questions I receive when it comes to financial aid for graduate students. The three questions that I probably get asked most often are, what sources of financial aid are available for graduate students? Am I able to take out federal student loans like I did for my undergraduate program? And finally, do you have any kind of payment plan? Let's explore these topics one at a time. First, let's look at some of the most common sources of financial aid for graduate students here at Nebraska Wesleyan University. A good place to begin is to ask your employer if assistance is available for employees working on a graduate degree. We have students that are getting part, and in some cases all, of the cost of their graduate program paid for by their employer. We also have quite a few graduate students that receive outside scholarships. Some of our students receive scholarships from local community foundations and from high school alumni associations. We also have students receiving scholarships from state, regional, and even national organizations. When it comes to obtaining an outside scholarship, my advice is to do some research because you never know what kind of scholarship you might find that you qualify for. Although, as you research, be sure to keep in mind that you should never be charged a fee for a scholarship search, and you should never be charged to apply for a scholarship. Our Community Partner Scholarship is the only university-sponsored scholarship awarded to graduate students. This is a $1,000 scholarship awarded to the employees of our roughly 70 community partners. Spouses and partners are also eligible for the scholarship. A full list of our partners can be found on the Community Partners page of our website. Contact our graduate staff if you have any questions about qualifying for this scholarship. Private education loans can be a good choice for some students. You should know that most private lenders require a strong credit history and a solid source of income. Interest rates can be extremely competitive, but fees and interest rates do vary widely. Be sure to do your homework and shop around. Nebraska Wesleyan does not have a list of preferred lenders, but our website has a link to Fast Choice, which is an online tool that you can use to compare lenders' interest rates in real time. Federal student aid is available to graduate students, but it differs from the aid available to undergraduate students in that unsubsidized direct loans are the only form of federal student aid awarded to graduate students. Pell Grants, subsidized direct loans, and Parent Plus loans are not available to graduate students. In addition, as of July 1st, 2026, the Department of Education eliminated the Graduate Plus Loan Program. Federal direct unsubsidized loans are without a doubt one of the most common forms of financial aid that our graduate students are awarded. The unsubsidized part in the name means that the loans begin to accrue interest once the funds are dispersed. So, let's take a closer look at federal direct loans for graduate students. Most all U.S. citizens and eligible non-citizens who have not defaulted on a previous student loan will be eligible. Another requirement is that you must be enrolled in at least 3 credit hours per semester in a degree-seeking program. There are no income limits, and unlike undergraduate subsidized loans, you do not need to demonstrate financial need to be eligible. Students with no credit history or those with a less than perfect credit history will also qualify because the credit checks are not necessary to obtain a loan. Students often ask about how much can be borrowed each semester. There are quite a few variables that determine how much you can borrow. First, for most graduate programs, there is a $20,500 annual limit on loans for full-time students, with a typical maximum award of $10,250 for a semester. Although not everyone will qualify for a maximum award because a student is not allowed to borrow more than the cost of attendance, or COA. The cost of attendance is a standardized estimate of the actual cost to attend a school. It includes the cost of tuition and fees, as well as allowances for books, housing, food, and personal expenses. The amount of these allowances is determined by how many credits you're taking and by the length of the classes. Generally speaking, the cost of attendance will be higher the more hours you take during a semester. You'll also want to keep in mind that summer classes are included in the annual limit amount. If you're planning to use a loan to pay for summer classes, you need to budget accordingly throughout the year to be sure you have funds available in the annual limit. We also need to address full-time versus part-time enrollment. For financial aid purposes, taking 6 credit hours or more during a semester is considered full-time for a graduate student. Students enrolled in 3, 4, or 5 credit hours during a semester are still eligible for a loan, but the loan amount will be prorated. This means the maximum loan amount is proportionately reduced to match your credit load. You should also be aware that if you are enrolled in less than 3 credit hours during a semester, you are not eligible for a federal direct loan. I want to make sure we talk about the process for obtaining a federal direct loan. The first step is to file a FAFSA, which stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. This can be done at studentaid.gov. It typically takes less than a week for a FAFSA to be processed and sent to schools. The exact loan amount for what you are eligible cannot be determined until you're registered for classes each semester. This is because we need to know what the cost of attendance will be. So, once we have your FAFSA and you're registered for classes, the financial aid office will determine your exact loan eligibility amount for the semester, and you will be contacted through your campus email. Let's move on to the final question on our list. Tuition and fees are due at the beginning of each semester. Students who are not able to pay their account balance at that time do have the option of enrolling in a payment plan. There are 2 interest-free payment plans available to graduate students. Both plans are serviced through Nelnet for a $25 fee per semester. For convenience, students are able to enroll in a plan using a link found in their self-service account. The first plan is our monthly plan. This is available for the fall and spring semesters only. Using this plan, divide your balance into 5 monthly payments. Graduate students also have access to a deferred plan, which is available for the fall, spring, and summer semesters. When using this plan, payment is deferred from the beginning of the semester until after the semester has ended. The fall balance is due in February, spring is due in June, and the summer balance is due in September. I hope you have a better understanding of the financial aid options graduate students have here at Nebraska Wesleyan University. I also realize a lot of information has been presented and you still may have some questions. If you would like more information about a particular topic, or if you have questions about financial aid as it relates to your specific situation, please be sure to reach out to the Financial Aid Office. Remember, we are here to help.
Thank you, Chris.